If you are up to your eyeballs in empty essential oil bottles like this and you don't know what to do with them, then you have come to the right place, because it is time to talk trash. Literally, that's exactly what we are talking on this Throw It Out Thursday Broadcast Express. Grab your recycling bin, grab your slipper socks, your family, and snuggle in as we continue our conversation from last month about doing more with less. And feel free to share this information and tag friends who would find it a valuable conversation. But in a nutshell, last month we talked about doTERRA Corporate's environmental stewardship efforts and how our company is working tirelessly toward carbon neutral operations by 2030. And that means a laser focus on minimizing waste. And so that means that you have the next most important role in the process once your products are dropped off at your door. So after you watch, you will feel confident as doTERRA hands the baton to you for waste management and proper disposal once you are done with your products. And so I will be briefly answering 3 of your most common questions on this topic. Number 1, can doTERRA packages be recycled? Number 2, how do you properly prepare your empties for recycling? And number 3, where do you take your empties to be recycled? But first, since joining doTERRA in August of 2014, I have shared more tips and tricks and life hacks than I could count. And I love helping you recycle and repurpose your empty doTERRA containers. So you can go back through my content on Instagram and YouTube for some evergreen inspiration. These are timeless suggestions that you can use to customize 1,000 different ways to Sunday. And in case you're newer to doTERRA, I wanted to highlight a few of my favorites. You can always reach out and message me and I can direct you to specific posts on any of these. But for starters, you can make diffuser blends for travel out of your empty bottles. So you can just fill up equal parts of your favorite oils, empty out your bottles when you are done with them. You have this handy diffuser blend for travel. You can even store hair ties and hair accessories in your empty body butter tubs. You can store throat drops in your empty supplement bottles. You can use bottles as flower vases like I showed you here. You can even make room sprays from your empty On Guard bottles, and the possibilities are endless. But when you're done with all your DIYs and you're done repurposing everything that you need and you want to recycle, now you'll know how. So we're going to talk exactly about that. So let's dive in with question number 1. Can doTERRA packages be recycled? And the answer is yes, of course they can. I do hang on to some extras. As always, I encourage you to save them, especially if you're just getting started and you don't have necessarily all of the elements to your habit architecture established, which means, when you're traveling, all the habits that you do throughout the day, morning and night. But if you find yourself with a surplus that you don't need to save for DIYs, know that you can make sure that doTERRA has all of your bottles and things covered, because plastic, aluminum, glass, everything can be recycled. So doTERRA is dedicated to recycling materials so that they don't go to waste. And the corporate hope is that everyone will help get on board and help by recycling empty bottles and empty packaging. So the first step in recycling your doTERRA packaging is knowing what the material is. So this information can be found on the bottom of each bottle, but here is a quick guide for doTERRA glass and plastic types. So essential oil bottles that are amber and brown. Also, dark supplement bottles like this are peat plastic grade number 1. Okay. Now, while plastic supplement bottles like this are number 2, peat plastic. Okay. And then to make it even easier for you, all of this is down in the caption below, so you don't have to screenshot, or you could screenshot it, but you don't have to, jot this down and pause it a million times. You can come back to the caption of the post for reference. Now, you'll notice that I didn't mention aluminum, and that's because you can recycle your aluminum bottles just like your normal recycling rotation with other aluminum cans and things like that. Now, I am hoping that more and more of our liquid products will shift toward this aluminum packaging in the future. It also would eliminate a lot of exponential amounts of paper because the label is printed right on the metal itself. But as you can see with some of these plastic bottles, it's a piece of paper label there. So question number 2, how exactly do you prepare your materials for recycling? Now, fun fact, if you don't clean your bottles, they may not be accepted. So just keep this in mind as an important step, and you can get the kids involved. Extra hands makes light work. So first you want to separate your bottles. You want to separate your recyclable materials. You have your bottles, you've got your glass, your aluminum, your plastic. Separate all those so that you can kind of create an assembly line. Now, in order to also do this, you want to separate the reducer, which is the little cap at the top, and the top cap and the bottle. You want to take the label off. You can use lemon essential oil to peel the label off. It comes off really simply. You can use any citrus oil for this. It's your own natural Goo Gone. It's any residual residue that you have left behind will be gone in a snap with this. You can soak the bottle caps and the reducers and the caps with warm soapy water for about 10 to 15 minutes after you've already soaked the oil out, and you can use that to refill your diffusers. But you want to make sure that you leave these on the counter to completely air dry. Now next is how to clean your plastic supplement bottles. So you will use the same method. Citrus oil is fine. Just to remove the label, you want to wash the inside and out with soapy water and rinse any supplement powder, especially because some of the powder capsules, there might be a little bit of residue and you want them to then air dry and they'll be completely clean. Now, how do you actually recycle them? Okay, so the easiest way to find your nearest amber glass recycling location is by Googling the words Recycle Nation, and it will be the very first thing that comes up in your Google search. And then you'll just tap on Find a Recycling Location. Then you enter your zip code and you follow the prompts for the type of materials that you want to drop off. And you'll notice locations accept different materials for recycling, just depends on the area that you live. So while doTERRA packaging is recyclable, your local municipality has the final say about what they will recycle and how they will do that. So for example, I found 5 locations in a pretty close proximity to where I live when I searched for brown amber glass bottles. But something really cool, at the top of the page, you'll see icons for drop-off, curbside, mailback, and pickup. So just check with your local government to see what options are available to you, but it is that simple. It's that simple. There's not even that much to talk about. It's so simple and foundational, but if you didn't know how to find the kind of plastic, then now you do, and you'll have that in the caption as well. Now, I am passing the torch to you because it is your turn to take the next step toward the recycling bin. And after you watch, you can head to the Recycle Nation website and just for fun, just for kicks, put in your zip code and comment below with how many locations came up closest to you. It'll be a fun experiment. I hope this quick topic empowers you to appreciate all that doTERRA does to continue protecting our planet for our children and their children, and encourages us to do our part. It's very simple. We can get our kids involved as well. And I hope you feel confident about how to move forward and play your own role in the campaign toward carbon neutrality by 2030. I hope that you can see and feel good about supporting a company. It's conscious consumerism at its best. How to take ownership of what happens next after doTERRA gets the products and the containers to you. And I am going to continue sharing with you all of these efforts that doTERRA is continuing to make, so stay tuned for more. A few little housekeeping items. I am holding space for you and I am participating in your progress every step of the way. So reach out or tap the link in my Instagram profile to get started with your doTERRA journey. I can't wait to connect with you and help you start a brand new chapter where you have all the pieces to your own wellness puzzle, and you can help the environment along the way. So I want to hear from you. Comment below after you watch and tell me what type of bottles you have the most of. Is it beadlets or the supplement bottles? And have you ever tried any of my DIYs? Maybe share your favorite way to upcycle. You can inspire everybody that's reading in the comments, or if you learned anything new. And again, feel free to share this information and tag friends who would find it valuable. Another few little items. There will be no broadcast in March because I will be at the doTERRA Leadership Retreat conference, and that will be in Florida. I am excited to connect with you and share more updates when I get back. Typically, we do get some of these great updates, so I will be assured to share those with you first. But ahead of the game, mark your calendar for my next continuing education broadcast. That will be streaming on demand the evening of Thursday, April 13th. I can't wait to connect with so many of you there in person. This year, it's going to be 3 jam-packed days of learning. My team and I will be there. New product reveals, so many updates. Of course, you'll be the first to know, and you can follow along in my stories. If you plan to attend, don't be shy. Stop over and say hi. I would love to hug you and just get to chat with you for a moment. It is always extra special to be together with you in person. And that is a wrap on broadcast number 240. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out Recycle Nation and talk trash to me after you watch this broadcast. I can't wait to see what you find. Until next time, I will see you soon.